The notification lit up my phone at 6 in the morning. I reached for it sleepily, expecting birthday messages. Instead, I saw my mother's post in our family group chat. Due to circumstances beyond our control, today's party is officially canceled. Melissa has been unstable and ungrateful lately. We think it's best she takes time to reflect. I sat up in bed, my heart pounding. Below her message, silence. No one defended me. No one asked questions. Just a few awkward emojis from distant cousins. I tried typing a response, but the message wouldn't send. She had blocked me from replying. My hands shook as I called her. She answered on the third ring, her voice calm and cold. "Good morning, sweetheart."
Mom, what is this?
"Why did you cancel my party?" "Because you embarrass me, Melissa. You've been acting too independent lately, making decisions without consulting me. People are starting to talk." "What are you talking about? I haven't done anything wrong." "That's exactly your problem. You never think you're wrong. Maybe this will teach you some humility." She hung up before I could respond. I called her back immediately, tears streaming down my face. This time she let it ring longer before answering. "Mom, please. It's my birthday.
Can we just talk about this?"
"There's nothing to discuss, Melissa. You owe me everything. I raised you alone after your father left. I sacrificed my entire life for you. And this is how you repay me? By shutting me out of your decisions." "I haven't shut you out. I just bought a car without asking your opinion first."
Exactly.
"You're 40 years old and still making foolish choices. Just like when you got divorced. You never listen." The words hit like physical blows. My divorce had been 3 years ago, a painful chapter I'd worked hard to close. "That's not fair," I whispered. "Life isn't fair, Melissa. You should know that by now. No one really cares about your birthday anyway." They were only coming out of obligation. I hung up, my entire body shaking. I sat on the edge of my bed, staring at the wall, feeling smaller than I had in years. My phone buzzed. A private message from my Aunt Patricia. "Melissa, I just saw the group chat. This doesn't sound right." I wiped my tears and called Aunt Patricia. She answered immediately. "Sweetheart, what's going on? Your mother said you canceled the party yourself because you were feeling overwhelmed." I froze.
What?
No, she canceled it. She just told everyone I was unstable. That's not what she told me privately. She said you called her last night having a breakdown and asked her to cancel everything. My stomach turned. "Patricia, I never said that. I was excited about today. I even confirmed the catering yesterday." There was a long pause. "Melissa, I'm confused. Why would she tell me something different?" Over the next hour, I called 4 more relatives. Each one had received a different version of events. My cousin Tyler thought I had a health emergency. My uncle believed I was having financial troubles and couldn't afford to host. My younger cousin was told I was depressed and needed space. None of it was true. "How long has she been doing this?" Patricia asked quietly. I thought back over the years. Suddenly, patterns emerged that I'd never noticed before. I don't know. Maybe forever. I spent the morning remembering. When I graduated college with honors, my mother told everyone she'd basically written my thesis. When I got promoted at work, she claimed she'd coached me through the interview. When my marriage ended, she told relatives I'd been impossible to live with. After my divorce, I'd moved closer to her for support. She'd seemed so caring then, so concerned. But now I realized she'd been isolating me. She discouraged me from joining clubs, from making new friends, from dating again. "You need to focus on healing," she'd said repeatedly. "People will take advantage of your vulnerability." I'd believed her. I'd trusted her. My phone buzzed. Tyler had sent a screenshot. It was from a private conversation between him and my mother from 6 months ago. "Keep an eye on Melissa. She's not stable since the divorce. Don't enable her bad decisions." I'd had no idea she was saying these things. "I'm so sorry," Tyler wrote. "I should have talked to you directly." I stared at my phone, a strange calm settling over me. For the first time, I saw everything clearly. This wasn't about one canceled party. This was about control. I opened my laptop and began collecting evidence. I spent hours going through old messages. Every text, every email, every voice note I'd saved. The patterns were undeniable. She'd been manipulating situations for years. I found an email where she told my boss I was considering quitting, which explained why I'd been passed over for a promotion. I found messages where she told my friends I was too busy to see them. I found voice notes where she contradicted herself, forgetting what lies she'd told to whom. I created a folder and saved everything.
My phone rang.
It was my cousin Stephanie. "Melissa, Mom just told me there's a family meeting tomorrow afternoon."
About you.
"What kind of meeting?" "She's calling it an intervention. She says people are worried about your mental state and need to discuss how to help you." My blood ran cold. An intervention? For what? "She's saying you're depressed, irresponsible, maybe even a danger to yourself. She wants everyone there to show you that you need professional help." I gripped the phone tighter. "Stephanie, none of that is true." "I know. That's why I'm calling you." The intervention was scheduled for Sunday afternoon at my mother's house. She hadn't invited me. She didn't plan to tell me at all. She was going to gather the entire family and paint me as mentally unwell, incapable, someone who needed to be managed. Stephanie sent me the invitation she'd received. "We need to talk about Melissa. She's spiraling and won't accept help. It's time for the family to step in before something terrible happens." I read it 3 times, my hands shaking with a mixture of rage and heartbreak. I wanted to call her. I wanted to scream. I wanted to show up at that meeting and defend myself. But something stopped me. A small, clear voice in my head said, "Let her talk. Let her reveal herself." Instead of confronting her, I responded to her earlier text with a humble message. "Mom, you're right. I've been struggling. Thank you for protecting me. I'm sorry I've been difficult." She responded within minutes. "I'm glad you're finally seeing sense, sweetheart. Sometimes we need tough love." I set my phone down and smiled grimly. She thought she'd won. I spent the next 3 days calling relatives individually. Not to complain, not to accuse.
Just to talk.
I asked about their lives. I shared honest details about mine. I told them about my job, my therapy sessions, my new hobbies. I was calm, measured, genuine. My Uncle Warren was the first to really listen. "Melissa, you sound good. Really good. Your mother made it seem like you were falling apart." "I'm not falling apart. I'm actually doing better than I have in years." "Then why is she saying these things?" "I don't know, Uncle Warren. But I'm worried about her perception of me." We talked for over an hour. He asked thoughtful questions. By the end, I could hear the doubt in his voice about my mother's narrative. I called Patricia next, then Tyler, then Stephanie's mother, then my second cousin Diana. One by one, I reconnected. Many apologized for not reaching out sooner. Trust slowly rebuilt. Finally, Uncle Warren called back. "Melissa, I need to see those messages you mentioned." I sent him the folder. Uncle Warren called me an hour after I sent the screenshots. His voice was tight with anger. "Melissa, I had no idea. She's been doing this for years." "I think so. I only just realized it myself." Aunt Patricia called next, crying. "Sweetheart, I believed her."
"I'm so sorry."
"I should have checked with you." One by one, relatives saw the evidence. The contradicting stories. The manipulative messages. The outright lies. Some were shocked. Others admitted they'd suspected something was off but hadn't wanted to interfere. Tyler sent me a long apology. "She told me you blamed me for your divorce. I've been avoiding you for 2 years because I thought you hated me." "Tyler, I never said that. I don't hate you. I never did." The family began quiet conversations among themselves. My mother's web of control was unraveling. But when Uncle Warren suggested confronting her, I stopped him.
"No.
Not yet. If we confront her now, she'll find a way to twist it. She always does." "Then what do you want to do?" I took a deep breath. "Let me handle this my way." I sent my mother another message. "Mom, I've been thinking about what you said. You're right that I've been too independent. I need your guidance more. Can we talk soon?" Her response was immediate and warm. "Of course, sweetheart. I'm so proud of you for recognizing this. Come over for lunch tomorrow. At lunch, she was generous, smiling, affectionate. She talked about how she'd always known what was best for me, how she'd protected me from so many mistakes. She accepted my gratitude graciously, like a benevolent queen receiving tribute. You were always my sensitive child, she said, patting my hand. That's why I have to be firm with you sometimes. You need structure. I nodded along, playing the part of the chastened daughter. As I was leaving, she hugged me tightly. I'm glad we're back on the same page. You know I only want what's best for you. I know, Mom. That night, she sent me a text meant for my cousin. She's easier to manage when she feels small. I screenshot it immediately and sent it to 3 relatives. The message spread quickly. Uncle Warren called me at 11 that night. She admitted it. She actually admitted she's been manipulating you. I know. Melissa, this is abuse. You know that, right? I hadn't let myself use that word before. But hearing him say it made something crack open inside me.
Yes.
I know. What do you want to do? I want my birthday back. He was quiet for a moment. What? She took my birthday from me. She humiliated me in front of everyone. She tried to make me feel worthless. I want it back.
How?
I don't know yet, but I'm going to figure it out. The next morning, more relatives reached out. The screenshot of her message had changed everything. People who'd been neutral were now questioning everything she'd told them. Her control was slipping, and she felt it. She called me, her voice sharp. People are asking me strange questions. Have you been talking about me?
No, Mom.
Why would I do that? Someone is turning people against me. If I find out it's you. Mom, I've just been trying to stay out of the way like you wanted. She didn't believe me, but she couldn't prove anything. Over the next week, my mother became increasingly aggressive. She sent accusatory messages to family members, demanding to know who was poisoning people against her. She called me repeatedly, her tone shifting between sweet and threatening. In one conversation, she tried a new approach. Melissa, I think you need to move back home. You're clearly not managing well on your own. I'm managing fine, Mom.
Are you?
Because people are telling me you've been spreading lies about me. That sounds like instability. I haven't been spreading lies. Then why is everyone acting strange? Why is your uncle questioning me about messages? What did you tell him? Nothing. Maybe people are just thinking for themselves. She was quiet for a long moment. You know, if you don't straighten up, I'll have to cut you off financially. I almost laughed. Mom, you don't support me financially. I've been independent for 15 years. The silence on the other end was deafening. She'd forgotten. Her leverage was gone, and she knew it. Well, she said finally, her voice cold. We'll see how long that independence lasts. She hung up. That afternoon, Stephanie called. Some of us want to throw you a real birthday party. A surprise one. Would you be okay with that? I couldn't speak for a moment. The idea that my family wanted to celebrate me, truly celebrate me, felt overwhelming. Are you serious? I finally managed. Completely serious. Uncle Warren, Aunt Patricia, Tyler, me, Diana, and about 15 others. We want to do this right. The way it should have been. But what about my mother? What about her? She doesn't get to control whether we celebrate you. Tears rolled down my face. Stephanie, I don't know what to say. Say yes. Let us do this for you. Let us show you that you matter.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Over the next few days, the planning happened in secret. They created a separate group chat without my mother. They coordinated schedules, planned food, arranged decorations. More family members joined than I'd expected. People I hadn't heard from in months wanted to be part of it. For the first time in years, I felt chosen. Not tolerated. Not managed. Chosen. But keeping it secret from my mother proved harder than we expected. She was watching everyone closely now, suspicious of every conversation. The party was planned for 3 weeks after my actual birthday. Patricia was hosting at her house, which had a large backyard. Everyone was committed to keeping it hidden. But then my sister, Brenda, almost ruined everything. Brenda had always been closer to our mother, had always believed her version of events. She called me one afternoon, her voice tentative. "Melissa, I heard some people are planning something for you." My heart stopped. "What did you hear?" "Just that there's a get-together being planned." "Is it true? Are people doing this behind Mom's back?" I chose my words carefully. "Brenda, some family members wanted to have lunch together. That's all." "But Mom isn't invited?" "It's not about excluding her. It's just a casual thing." She was quiet. "Melissa, she's really upset lately. She thinks people are turning on her. I don't want to see the family split apart." "Neither do I." "But Brenda, has Mom told you why people are upset?" "She said you've been lying about her." "Have you asked anyone else what happened? Have you looked at the messages?" She hesitated.
No.
"Maybe you should." We hung up, and I immediately called Patricia. "Brenda knows something." The next day, my mother called Brenda for their weekly lunch. Brenda, trying to be loyal to both of us, mentioned that people seemed to be planning something. My mother immediately started calling relatives, demanding information. Patricia played it perfectly. "Oh, just a small family dinner. Nothing formal." But my mother wasn't satisfied. She started watching social media obsessively, checking who was interacting with whom. She drove past Patricia's house twice. She called Tyler under the pretense of small talk, fishing for information. "She followed me to the grocery store yesterday," I told Uncle Warren. "I'm sure of it. We need to be more careful. The party is in 2 days." Those 2 days felt like walking through a minefield. Every conversation with my mother was a performance. She'd become syrupy sweet again, trying to rebuild her image, convinced she was regaining control. "Melissa, I think we should have a family dinner soon. Just us. Start fresh." "That sounds nice, Mom." "Good. I've been thinking about everything, and I realize I may have been too harsh about your birthday. Maybe we can reschedule it." "Maybe. Let's talk about it next week." She agreed, satisfied. She thought she'd won me back. The morning before the party, my mother sent a text to the family group. "I've decided to forgive Melissa for her recent behavior. She's been struggling, but I believe she's learning. Let's all move forward with love and understanding." Several relatives reacted with supportive emojis. My mother couldn't see that they were playing along, waiting for tomorrow. She called me that afternoon. "I want you to know I've forgiven you, sweetheart. I know you didn't mean to hurt me." "Thank you, Mom." I told everyone we're okay now.
They're all so relieved.
"You scared people, you know. But I explained that you're just sensitive." I bit my tongue. "I appreciate you explaining things." "Of course. That's what mothers do. We protect our children, even from themselves." After we hung up, I sat in my living room, staring at nothing. She genuinely believed she'd fixed everything, that she'd restored order, that everyone would go back to believing her narrative. Tomorrow would change everything. Stephanie called that evening. "Everything's ready. The party starts at 2. Tyler is going to pick you up at 1:30 and tell you we're just going to a small lunch." "Okay," I whispered. "Melissa, are you all right?" "I don't know. What if this makes everything worse?" "It won't. Trust us." I woke up on party day feeling hollow. My actual birthday had been 3 weeks ago, spent alone, crying on my couch. Now people wanted to celebrate me, but all I felt was exhausted. My mother had sent me a message at midnight. "I know I was hard on you on your birthday.
I'm sorry.
Sometimes I push you because I love you. I hope you can forgive me." The message was manipulative, crafted to make me feel guilty for being hurt. But reading it made something inside me finally break. I sat on my bathroom floor and cried harder than I had in years. This was who she was.
She would never change.
She would never truly see me. Aunt Patricia called at noon. "Melissa, I'm worried. Are you okay?" "I don't know if I can do this. What if people are only coming out of pity? What if I show up and realize nobody really cares?" "Sweetheart, 23 people have confirmed. They're bringing gifts. They made you a cake. Diana wrote you a speech. These people love you." "But what if?" "No what ifs. Tyler is picking you up in 90 minutes. Take a shower. Put on something nice. Trust us. Please. I nodded even though she couldn't see me. Okay. Tyler arrived at 1:30 exactly. I'd forced myself to shower and put on a dress, though I felt like I was going to my own funeral. Just a small lunch, he said, smiling. Patricia invited a few people. Who's coming?
Oh, just family.
Nothing big. We drove to Patricia's house in silence. I stared out the window, my stomach in knots. When we pulled up, I noticed several cars parked along the street, but Tyler parked in the driveway. Ready? He asked. I guess. We walked to the side gate that led to Patricia's backyard. Tyler opened it and gestured for me to go first. I stepped through. The backyard exploded with noise. Surprise. I stumbled backward, my hand flying to my mouth. The yard was filled with people. Balloons, streamers, tables covered with food. A banner that read, "Happy birthday, Melissa. You are loved." I couldn't breathe. Faces swam in front of me. Patricia, Uncle Warren, Stephanie, Diana, cousins I hadn't seen in years, old friends from college, even my former coworker Kennedy. They surrounded me, hugging me, laughing, crying. I collapsed into Patricia's arms, sobbing. "We love you," she whispered. "We see you." Someone pressed a tissue into my hand. Someone else handed me water. I couldn't stop crying. Then I heard a familiar voice cutting through the crowd. "What is going on here?" I turned. My mother stood at the side gate, her face twisted with confusion and rage. She'd arrived uninvited, probably suspicious about the gathering. The crowd quieted. She walked into the yard slowly, looking at the decorations, the people, the cake with my name on it. "What is this?" she demanded. Uncle Warren stepped forward. "It's Melissa's birthday party. The one you canceled." "I didn't cancel it. I postponed it because she was unwell." "No, you didn't. You lied. To everyone." My mother's eyes found mine. "Melissa, what have you done?" I couldn't speak. Patricia answered for me. "She didn't do anything. We did this because we love her. Because she deserves to be celebrated." "This is ridiculous. She's manipulated all of you. Can't you see that?" Stephanie stepped forward, holding her phone. "Actually, we can see pretty clearly." She held up the screenshot of my mother's message. "She's easier to manage when she feels small." My mother's face went white. She looked around at the crowd, seeing their expressions shift from confusion to understanding to anger. "That was taken out of context," she said quickly. "What context makes that okay?" Uncle Warren asked. I was worried about her. Sometimes you have to be firm with sensitive people. Tyler held up his phone. "What about this one? Where you told me Melissa blamed me for her divorce?" "Or this one," Diana added, "where you told me she was jealous of my success?" "Or this one," Kennedy said, "where you told my boss she was planning to quit." One by one, people started reading messages. My mother had been caught in a web of her own making. She looked at me, her eyes pleading. "Melissa, tell them. Tell them I was just trying to help you." I took a shaky breath.
No, Mom.
"You weren't trying to help me. You were trying to control me. I'm your mother. It's my job to guide you. Guidance isn't manipulation. Love isn't control." She laughed bitterly. "You have no idea what I've sacrificed for you. I know exactly what you've sacrificed. You've told me every day of my life. You've used it as a weapon." The crowd was silent now, watching us. My mother looked around desperately, searching for allies. She found none. Uncle Warren pulled out his phone. "There's one more thing everyone should hear." He pressed play. My mother's voice filled the yard, crystal clear. It was a voice note she'd sent him weeks ago. "Warren, you need to stop questioning me about Melissa. I know what I'm doing. She needs to be kept small, kept dependent. Otherwise, she'll make terrible decisions. I've been managing her whole life, and it's exhausting, but someone has to do it. She's not capable of handling things on her own." The recording ended. Silence fell over the party like snow. My mother's face crumpled. "You recorded me? You sent it to me." "I saved it because I knew something was wrong." "This is betrayal," she whispered. "All of you. You've betrayed me." Patricia shook her head.
No.
You betrayed Melissa. For years. My mother turned to me, tears streaming down her face. How can you let them do this to me? I'm your mother. And I'm your daughter. But you've never treated me like one. My mother's tears turned to anger. Her voice rose, sharp and cutting. You're all going to regret this. Every single one of you. I gave my life to this family, and this is how you thank me? By humiliating me? You humiliated yourself, Uncle Warren said quietly.
No.
Melissa did this.
She poisoned you against me.
She's manipulative. She's always been manipulative. Ever since she was a child, she's twisted things to make herself the victim. I felt the old familiar pull, the instinct to shrink, to apologize, to make peace. But I didn't. Instead, I pulled out my phone and opened the folder of evidence. Mom, I have years of messages here. Should I start reading them? You wouldn't dare. Try me. We stared at each other. The daughter she'd controlled for 40 years, and the mother who was watching that control disintegrate. I began reading. Message after message. Email after email. Voice note after voice note. Each one revealing another lie, another manipulation, another moment of control disguised as love. By the time I finished, even Brenda, who'd arrived midway through, was crying. My mother stood there, exposed and alone. I want to say something, I said, my voice steady for the first time all day. Everyone turned to me. My mother wiped her eyes, waiting for me to either save her or destroy her. For 40 years, I believed I wasn't enough. I believed I needed to earn love. I believed that asking for anything was selfish. Mom, you taught me all of that. Not through words, but through actions. Melissa, please let me finish. You taught me that my accomplishments were yours. You taught me that my failures were mine alone. You taught me that independence was rebellion. And I believed it. Until 3 weeks ago, when you took my birthday from me. I looked around at the faces watching me. Family.
Friends.
People who'd shown up. That day broke something in me. But it also woke me up. I started seeing patterns I'd ignored my whole life. And I realized something. I don't need to earn love. Real love is freely given. Real love doesn't require you to stay small. Tyler was crying now. So was Patricia. Mom, I forgive you for what you've done. Not because you deserve it, but because I deserve peace. But forgiving you doesn't mean things go back to how they were. My mother shook her head violently. So that's it? You're going to cut me out of your life? After everything I've done for you? I'm not cutting you out. I'm setting boundaries. If you want to be part of my life, things have to change. Change how? Therapy. Together and separate. Honesty. Respect. No more manipulation. No more control. And no more lying about me to my family. That's ridiculous. I'm not going to therapy because you decided I'm the problem. Then we're done. The words hung in the air. Several relatives nodded. Others looked away, uncomfortable but understanding. My mother looked around the yard one more time, seeing faces that had once believed her now turned away. Uncle Warren had his arm around my shoulder. Patricia was holding my hand. Stephanie stood beside me like a guard. She was alone. You'll regret this, she said finally, her voice small. All of you. She turned and walked back through the gate. We heard her car start and drive away. No one spoke for a long moment. Then Patricia squeezed my hand. You did the right thing. I wasn't sure I believed her yet, but I was starting to. The party resumed slowly. People hugged me, apologized for believing lies, promised to do better. The cake was cut. Presents were opened. For hours, I was surrounded by love that felt real and unconditional. As the sun set, Uncle Warren pulled me aside. Your mother called me. She wants to talk. What did she say? She's angry. But underneath it, I think she's scared. She's realizing she might actually lose you. What do you think I should do? I think you should stick to your boundaries. If she's willing to get help, genuinely willing, then maybe there's hope. But if she's just trying to manipulate her way back in, you need to stay strong. I nodded. I will. Over the next few months, my mother called occasionally. Sometimes she was angry, accusing me of destroying the family. Sometimes she was weepy, begging me to reconsider. Sometimes she was cold and distant, punishing me with silence. I held my boundaries. I offered therapy. She refused. I offered honesty. She deflected. I offered respect. She demanded submission. So I chose distance. It wasn't easy. There were days I questioned everything, days I wanted to call her and apologize just to make the pain stop. But Uncle Warren, Patricia, and Stephanie kept me grounded. You're not responsible for fixing her, Patricia reminded me. You're only responsible for protecting yourself. Slowly, I rebuilt my relationship with my family on my own terms. Some relatives faded away, unable to navigate the new dynamic. Others grew closer. I learned who truly cared about me, not the version of me my mother had created. 1 year later, I stood in Patricia's backyard again. It was my birthday, and this time, the party had been planned from the start.
28 people came.
We laughed, ate too much cake, and told stories. My mother wasn't there. She'd been invited with conditions she'd refused to meet. But for the first time, her absence didn't haunt me. I was learning to grieve the mother I'd needed while accepting the mother I'd had. Uncle Warren raised his glass. To Melissa. For teaching us all what real strength looks like. Everyone cheered. I looked around at these people who'd shown up, who'd believed me, who'd chosen me. I thought about that morning a year ago, waking up to find my party canceled and my character destroyed. I thought about how small I'd felt, how worthless. I didn't feel small anymore. As the party wound down, Stephanie hugged me. How do you feel?
Free, I said.
And I meant it. The real gift hadn't been the party, though I needed it desperately. The real gift had been finding my voice and realizing I deserved to use it. I'd spent 40 years believing my mother's version of who I was. Now I was writing my own story. And it started with one simple truth. I was enough. I had always been enough. I just needed the courage to believe it.